America. Tune in to Off the Wall America every big Wednesday from 5 to 8 p.m. with your host, Dune FDKNS, only on Repfm, New Zealand's #1 hip-hop station. Off the Wall Aotearoa. Tune in to Off the Wall Aotearoa every magical Monday from 5 to 8 p.m. New Zealand time with your host, Dune FDKNS, only on Repfm, New Zealand's #1 hip-hop station.
Talofa, kia ora, kia rana, malulolei, namaste, bonjour, g'day, and welcome. I'm your host this evening. I go by the name of Dune FDKNS, class of 91, and this is my show every big Wednesdays called Off the Wall America, similar to my Monday show, but obviously Monday show is strictly New Zealand music only, but tonight I play a lot of international music, and of course, as posted on the Repfm Facebook page and our website, we have an exclusive guest in the building tonight. And actually the boys are here right now, so I think we'll just get into the exclusive interview, because you know the boys are busy guys and they got their premiere on tomorrow night in the city at the Civic. And if you click on their link on our page, you will see all the details there to actually still cop some tickets now and get into it. And so yeah, we'll get straight into it. In the house we have Rene Naufahu.
Hello man, good to be here. Malo dude.
So how are you? How are you also?
I'm very good. Just a little bit stressed, but in a good way. You know, we got the premiere tomorrow night, so yeah, a lot of work.
Okay. So you know, obviously I know who you are, but for our listeners out there, you know, want to give us a little introduction?
Oh yeah, my name is I'm Rene Naufahu. Everyone calls me Ren. Probably mostly well known on New Zealand screens for Sam off Shortland Street, and I had a little return to Shorty this year, which was a nice little return. It's kind of like going back to school for a little while, and but I've been mainly concentrating on writing and directing my own stuff, just acting to pay the bills. My directing and writing debut came a few years ago with The Markets, which was a TV series based on Samoan family trying to deal with people out to with vengeance against them in Otara. And then, and since then, I've been concentrating on several film projects, and the latest film has just been made. Took 5 years to get there, and it's called The Last Saint.
Yep, of course, that's The Last Saint. Yeah, but before you got into that, you know, no doubt, you know, you start off modelling. You know, I read a little article saying Karen Walker picked you up.
Oh yeah.
You know, she picked you up, and for her to pick you up, that's, you know, quite an achievement. You know, it's Karen Walker we're talking about.
Well, I was actually with this guy here over here. No, it was me and my brother. We were the first poster models for Karen Walker to open up her shop, but. Dude, it wasn't like they are now. It was put on the shirts and the sleeve comes off in the middle of the catwalk.
Yeah, but it is quite rare, you know, especially for during that time, that period in fashion where you wouldn't see much polys, you know, affiliated with Karen Walker. You know, back then everyone was rocking Workshop and Standard Issue. That was the times in that, you know. So,
yeah.
So it's cool for you fellas to, you know, be involved with that.
Yeah, it was. High Street was really cool down around that time. You know, you had the corner bar, Shortland bar, the Brits, you know, and you had the Box, the Siren, like good clubs, man, you know, and it was a really good vibe, you know, and everybody used to come in from around the ways and
the glue
north,
pot.
south. Oh man, the glue pot. Oh god, I love the glue pot, man. You know, we used to go get our grandpa from the glue pot. You go get him. No, you go get him. You go get him. No, so it's just our age, you know. These were like really good. They were like exciting times, you know. Now it's a little bit different, you know. I don't know. There's a lot more crazy stuff that happens out on the streets. I can't remember so many like king hits and all that kind of stuff like back in the day, man. That's just like now. It's just nuts. You know, you could stand on the door. I used to do a lot of door work.
Yep.
You know, I used to be a bouncer a lot for. Used to work down at the Brits. Used to work at the Brits, and then you know, run around, finish up, get down to the box with you know, Tim and Rossetti and Sawani. Oh, they're all DJs now. You know, they turn into DJs. Yeah, it's good times.
Still on the scene. So for modeling, did someone pick you up from there to start like approach you for the acting buzz, or?
Yeah, no, I was asked to do a music video. I did a music video called Man of Mixed Emotions by James Galen, and that's and then I did that, and then someone saw that and asked if they wanted me to get into some TV acting, and so I just auditioned and I went along. I was playing for Ponsonby under 21s at the time, so honestly, there was about six of us that went along to the audition, and we all rocked up, and then I got the job, and then it sort of went on from there,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Was that the job for Shortland Street?
Yeah, that was for Shortland Street. Yeah,
that's because even back then you were like one of the first Polynesian faces to become on Shortland Street, especially in the 90s. I think it was 92, and you had four long years on Shortland Street.
Yeah,
so
it was funny, like, because when before it came on air and everybody heard about it, all the Tongans were saying, oh yeah, he's Tongan, and all Samoans were going, oh yeah, there's a new Samoan actor, Samoan. And then when the show actually started and everybody saw my acting ability, they went, oh nah, the Tongans went, oh nah, I'm sure he's Samoan. And the Samoans went, oh nah, you can have him, he's Tongan. He's Tongan.
But that's when you first started, because I remember reading that article where you were saying like, or your folks were like chuffed that you made it on screen, and then after they watched the first episode they were, hey, like what the hell, So that was good, but through that you learnt and you improved and progressed.
Yeah, well, I was crying myself to sleep all the time. I mean, far out. You get to, you just got to take the knocks, and then but early on there was a lot of things I was more worried about. Like I hated fame. I hated being recognized everywhere. Back in the day, like, man, I had some mates, and my boys, like, there were some pretty staunch guys, man. But for them, it was like cool for them because they could see it. But to be the actual guy that was being recognized, and I couldn't talk to anybody about it because there was nobody that I could relate, relate to. So I went and tried to, I just tried to travel a lot and went and did some crazy things and kind of grew up, and then because I never got it. I don't sound more. Pass me a tissue, man. But but I had to sort of grow up, and then I was really, really lucky to have really good support from my family and from my friends, and then I just kind of grew up. My boy got born in Amsterdam. I got accepted into a film school in Amsterdam, and my son was born in Amsterdam. And,
true that.
And then I really had to sort of like grow up, and so. And then I started turning down jobs that I didn't think were right. Like I didn't do the Tattooist because I thought that was a bullshit movie, man.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah, I mean, they offered me the role of the Tattooist, and I read the script and I said, man, there's no way anybody's gonna take this role, man.
Yeah.
And then Robbie took it. Yeah, man, for real.
Yeah, I didn't think it was too bad, actually.
I hated it. Oh,
but
man.
to get that dude from Roswell, I was like, oh, true that. Is that the main ingredient there?
You should have seen the Beulah ceremonies they had for that guy, man. I think he's a Matai now.
Oh, man.
Honest.
Oh, well, I heard John Key and the rest of his cabinet are all Matai, so, why not,
Yeah, true. Except for you, Sam. Except for Sam, man. Sam, not too. He's all good.
Yeah.
But the rest, oh my goodness.
Yeah. But I know what you mean about the fame bit, because you were obviously you were talking about when you first started on Shortland Street, and your first screening was like, but then obviously they kept you on for 4 years. So they must have definitely saw something that they liked, and through there you kind of grew into it. But saying that you were like you're a household name and you're a household face, whether you like it or not, because it's been 4 years in the beginning, and everyone remembers the original cast. Like me personally, I didn't really get into Shortland Street, but I remember the beginning. It was like crazy. It was crazy, and that's why even now, like when I see you around all the time, oh yeah, that's Sam. It might be 98, 99, 2002, and whenever I saw you, oh, there's Sam. Because you're one of those faces, and because of your 4 years, on Shortland Street, that's what's made you who you are, but no doubt you've ventured off and you've created your own path, and now you're into the behind the scenes stuff. But saying that, I always admired that chick you went out with in Shortland Street, Tia. Was it Tia?
Tipi.
Tipi, Tipi. Oh man, she was hot, man.
Yeah, she was. She's a beautiful girl, man.
Yeah.
One time we were rehearsing, we had to kiss. every time we went to kiss, she kept cracking up.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man. And I was like, and then I was starting to get funny. I was starting to get a little bit angry. And then the director goes, hold on. And he goes, what's going on here? And then she goes, oh, nothing, I'm fine. And I said, is it me? Is anything I'm doing wrong? And then she said, no. She said, oh no, it's just I've never kissed anybody except for my boyfriend.
Oh,
and
bollocks.
then and then so the director goes, well, you're gonna have to go into Ren's room and practice kissing until it looks good.
Stop it.
Oh, yeah. So let's behind the room.
You were single that time, eh?
I can't remember, but no, it was for the work, man. It was work.
Yeah,
it was hard work. It was hard work, man. I was working,
Like,
man, earning my dollar.
Yeah.
She's a really nice lady. But I mean, that's for real. That's one of the things that we had to do.
Yeah. Honestly, she was a hit among the 19, 18-year-old boys during that time.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't seen her since, but
no, she's still a really good-looking woman, man.
Yeah. She was like, I think she was the reason why I watched on the street, because I was like, oh man, Sam the bastard. Because of TP, man. Shucks.
But she was mad as a cut snake, man.
Yeah.
All actresses, they're crazy, man.
Yeah.
They're mad. She wasn't mad, but you know.
Yeah, hard.
But you know, it's a funny thing. TVNZ, you know, like they were having these surveys, and they said, you know, for the audience, and then one of the things was, you know, who's a popular character, and it was Sam, and then what don't you like about him, and it was that he's married. So they just go, okay, we're gonna kill the wife. If only that worked in real life, man.
I wondered, because me and my partner were talking last night. Remember Sam? He used to go with I thought her name was Ty or something.
Oh, yeah.
And then she goes, yeah. Then what happened? I think they killed her. They killed her in the car crash.
Yeah, they killed her off.
Yeah. That's when you're wearing your funky singlet and you know, you had these tight ass shorts.
So remember those old gym singlets with the wide underarms?
I know.
The left chest.
Pretty youthful there, bro.
Oh, God. Yeah, well, shit, I was like 24, man. 24. So.
Oh, yeah. Hard. Yeah. So, you know, you had 4 luxurious years on Shauna Street. So from there, I think at the height of your fame, you took off to Aussie and what? You did Water Rats? Or?
No, yeah, I went over there and but again, I was like, I went over to do miniseries. I did a lot of miniseries and movies over there, but and then worked doors at nights. And the reason was because, man, I always got to hang out with Usos, you know, and then and the boys over in Sydney, you know, they're all the doormen, you know, and the good guys, the Samoans, the Tongans, you know, and then you find out, you know, like what goes on over there,
hard,
you know, and oh man, there's some funny stories around there, man, you know, like there'd be guys like sometimes NRL players would come up and I'd be like, man, I saw the guys on TV, and they'd be like, don't let those bastards in, man. Hard. They're bad dudes, like real bad, you know. So it was really interesting to see that side, eh? And you know. And now all those doormen that I used to work with, guys like Tapso Pataya and Kalimian, you know, like they're all their sons are like boxing champs and league players. You know, so yeah, man, I'm really proud of them, you know, and I'm proud to say I know them, and every time I go over to Aussie, you know, like, because they've kind of sort of calmed down now, and we get together, have a coffee, have a bit of a catch up, and just, you know, reminisce about the old times, you know.
Hard. So you done a lot of things while over there. You done Water Rats, you did All Saints, you done a lot, you know. I think what was the one that kind of like made you like want to stay over there, you know, and not come back to New Zealand and do your own thing? Was it because there was more opportunities over there, more jobs?
There's more jobs and there's more opportunities over there, but it's just I mean, you know, because I couldn't really walk around anywhere over here, then, but over over there, I was just another brown, brown face. So, and I had some really good friends over there. Yeah. So, I was just able to just sort of kind of relax a little bit, you know. Yeah. Also in Aussie, I did my first role because my dad never really accepted me being an actor for 10 years, you know. He's quite staunch Tongan like that, and it was only when I played this guy that was that killed someone for dishonoring the family in Water Rats. Yeah. That was the first time he said to me, he goes, this acting thing, you should give it a try. Yeah. I was like, Dad, I've been doing it for 10 years. That's what I'm here in Aussie for.
Yeah.
That's the, you know, that's old school, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, probably because you could like relate to that, where he probably couldn't, you know, because you're,
right.
you know, you're got the old school island ways in you, so therefore you, especially in his time, it would have been different to seeing what you were portrayed as on Shoreline Street.
Yeah, definitely, man. He didn't, he didn't like it, especially like. Because we kept losing the Rugby World Cups, and I used to play centre. Yeah, I used to play centre for rugby. Yeah, and like there was this, you know, thing in the World Cup with the All Blacks, and their centres kept getting injured, and he'd be, oh man, why do you not play the rugby? The country needs you. I was thinking, oh yeah, now I'm getting played for the World Cup loss. Thanks, Pops. Thank you.
Maybe because you played New Zealand under-17s. And I think that your father would have thought, oh man, that's it, Joe and Alamu, you know, on the way, you know.
I know it was Brian Williams back in the day, man. Like that was before Jonah. But the thing was, it was you know, now I look back at it, it was just not meant to be, you know. I had a lot of stuff that I had to.
During that time in your age, any parent would be so rapt that, you know, you're playing for New Zealand under 17s, and therefore they could see a future in that genre. In
I
that
think like Mum wasn't there first, but Dad was. It was really like a, and it isn't only till recently, like talking to my dad, that I find out that when my dad was a really good rugby player.
Yeah.
But his dad didn't encourage him or didn't push him to follow it.
Yeah.
And so my dad was really hard on me and my brothers and that. And so it's just those things that you kind of learn as you get older. So now I've got my son, and my son is, and my boys they're starting to show potential. So I've got to sort of be easy on them.
Yeah, because you're also their coach, your son's coach. Yeah. Because my partner told me she saw you yesterday at the zones. Because my partner teaches at Mount School.
Oh yeah.
So she goes, I saw your friend Rene, sonny. I went, Dune, you know. Yeah. And she goes, where is that? Oh, zones. And I said, man, it was freezing. Yeah. Let's go. That's one of his many gifts. Because, you know, no doubt you do the acting, you do the gym thing, and then on top of it, you know, you do the rugby and coaching. Yeah. And it's cool when you see someone, you know, that, you know, like role model material, also paying it forward for the younger generation, not just for their sons, but, you know, for the school. What school you coaching there?
No, it was just Three Kings, and it's just in a primary school thing. And man, if you don't get, it's just one of those things. Like I'm honoured, man. I'm privileged to coach those boys.
Yeah,
you know, like I've got all these things that are going on, but it's when I'm with the boys playing rugby, they don't give it. Man, they don't care who I am or whatever. You know, they're just like, Coach, what do we need to do? You know, and so when I talk to them, it's just like I just talk, you know, very simple. You know, you gotta make that tackle, man. Or you gotta support the play. You gotta play as brothers, and that's the best thing. You know what I mean? That's the best thing for me.
Hard. Yeah. So that's awesome. That's awesome, you know, because you had that background in it, and your father was a good rugby player. And he didn't like your acting until like 10 years later, and so you saw that certain scene in Water Rats, and then next minute, yo, you should do this, Rene, you know, and then next minute, you know, you take a look back, and because you, like you saying earlier, you attended this institute in Amsterdam. That was the Binge Institute, and you were actually one of the first Polynesians to attend that.
Yeah,
What made you go to Amsterdam's institute out of?
I know what you're thinking, man.
NYU,
I know what you're thinking, you know? In Amsterdam. I know what you're thinking, man.
I was just wondering why you went to Amsterdam, you know, because there's so many film institutes, and you went there for the script development.
Yeah. It was a writing and directing thing, but I mean they're one of the best film schools in the world, and they choose 12 people around the world each year, so it's it costs a shitload of money, but luckily they gave me a scholarship.
Yep.
And I mean, I went there. I sucked it up, man. Like, it's an amazing place, bro. I mean,
for sure.
Like, seriously.
The red light district or the green light district?
Sorry, there's the red.
But I know.
There's the red light district, and then there's the hazy light district, which is it's crazy. But you know, but underneath that, you know, like Holland is. I mean, you know, the Netherlands is really famous for its artists, and and over the years, and it's just something, man. It's just like coming to New Zealand to learn rugby. You know what I mean? It's just like and league. You know, anyone could, someone could just come from the other side of the world and say, Dune, can you just show me the basics of? You don't need to coach the coaching manual, but if someone says, can you tell me about rugby league? You just because it's in every part of your body. Yeah. And so what those guys are, it's just about art, about this, thinking as an artist and discovering, which is in New Zealand people don't really do that. Yeah. I mean, because they, so
I know what you mean.
Yeah. So that was a really good thing going over there, and it really was a turning point for me.
Yeah, because in Amsterdam, shucks, I just can't believe you did that. How long was that? Was that for a whole year?
No, it was about 8 months.
Okay.
8 months, but went around and saw my brother was living in Scotland at the moment. At that time,
true.
My sister was living in London. These guys were staying in Sydney. Mum and Dad was staying in Tonga.
True.
Yeah, so our family we were all split out around the globe, But so before we got home, because Joel was born in Amsterdam, we went and stopped.
Joe Pinball.
Yeah, Pinball. He was staying in Glasgow because he was playing for Glasgow.
Yeah.
And then we went across and saw our sister that was living in London. Stopped by, saw these guys living in Sydney. And we saw Mum and Dad in Tonga.
Man, I would have loved Joe to be here because I actually did a bit of research on him. And he's been around, he's done it.
I'll get him. He'll come back, bro. You know what? He'll come back. I tell you what, man. I'll make the call. He'll come back this time next week after the premiere.
Oh no, awesome. That'd be dope as.
Yeah, no, he's got it, man. He's got it. He was so keen to come, man.
Yeah, hard. And I really love this character. But before that, I still want to, talk more about you and everything, because, this is, you're Sam Alini, shucks, Rene Naufahu in the house, and I'm actually privileged to have you here because, you've been around, I usually do research on everyone that comes in here, and one of my favorite movies, a New Zealand movie, because I love New Zealand film. I'm a bit of a movie buff, I love Scorsese and Tarantino, and I love all that stuff. But the New Zealand film industry is totally different. We're dark, we're unique because our stories are totally different to the world.
Yeah.
And that's why I like I love the way you portrayed. You were portrayed in number 2.
Erasmus.
Yeah, Erasmus. Yeah. And you actually got an award for that.
Yeah.
Best supporting role.
Yeah. Got best supporting. I mean, that was real cool. That was really good to work with Toa Fraser. And Toa Fraser is, he's a really clever guy. We shot a little movie in our school, and I just finished doing the Matrix thing.
Yeah.
And shooting that over in Sydney, and then coming back and doing number 2.
Yeah.
Like, two totally different experiences.
Yeah, 2 different,
But it's like number 2 is just like everything, man. Like, and it kind of got me in the right frame of mind.
Yeah.
When I was doing the markets, we shot the markets then at the same time.
Yeah, I saw that. I was checking out your bio. I was going, shucks, you was doing all this in the same year because you done the Matrix in the same year and the markets in I think number 2. Yeah. But with number 2. I think your character was quite believable in that, playing you were what's his is that where you met X?
Yeah.
His character was quite dope in that.
Yeah. No, well, X is again, man. He's just like a South Auckland guy, man. Xavier, when he auditioned for the markets, because we worked together on number 2, and I said to him, bro, you got to be this guy that's from the streets, like for real. Like I don't want. And all these actors, all these Tuatwhakare actors came out of this, and they were all sitting in the cafe and they were all laughing, waiting for the audition.
Yeah.
And he was just sitting in the car by himself, just getting himself in the zone.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, he's going to be, you better be good if you're going to be like that.
Yeah.
And that's why, I worked with him. He was a really good guy. I mean, Anthony Starr was in number 2, as well. And now Anthony Starr's got he's got the lead in the syndicated series.
Because he played the boyfriend.
Yeah, he played the boyfriend. But bro, he's an egg, man. He's an egg to work with, honestly. Like, he's a good guy. He's a good guy to sit around with when you work. It's like those guys are like trying to play mind games with other actors and all that.
Yeah.
me an ex, we're gonna slap him one time.
Oh, he might be listening, man. He goes, man, that's it, Ren, man. You're gonna get it now.
Oh, yeah, sure. He can come get me with his mascara brush, man. That's real good. No, I mean, that's the funny thing. It's like some guys are really, that working with Xavier was, he's a good dude. Man, he's gonna be huge, man.
Yeah, because I would like to see him
in Dark Horse. He's in Dark Horse. He's in Deadlands.
True.
And he was Bill Williams in The Kick. It was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. No, I'd love to see him in a lot more other productions because he's actually got it, just naturally got it, you know.
Yeah, no.
But it'll be cool to see him play different roles.
Yeah.
You know, because you don't want to be typecast as that kind of smooth, kind of looking guy, but he's tough and he's beating up everyone.
Yeah.
You know.
I'll give him Brokeback the sequel.
But Market was quite interesting. I actually liked that series, but the sucks thing about it was on late, so you had to be up late, where if you're waiting for the man, hard, and it was. But at the same time, it was quite. You can relate to it because you're from South Auckland. It was based South Auckland. It was around the market. There's a girl boy thing going on, and I could relate to the screen printing buzz. And that's the normal buzz around South Auckland.
If you like TP, did you see the girls that were on the market?
Yeah, they weren't too bad.
Come on, man, they're pretty good. Yeah. They're pretty good. So I mean, seriously, we just got bumped from TVNZ because they said no, it's too brown. And there
I was wondering because sometimes it on 9:30, then it changed day. It got down to 10:30.
It was supposed to be between 7:30 and 9:30, and then they blew us up at 9:30. That was just the latest, and then it was just like, man, my family love me, but I don't know how late they're gonna stay up for it.
Yeah, hard. But no doubt if you're related or you're affiliated with someone and you gotta peep it, especially because a lot of the islanders or the Māori Polynesian community they want to see that kind of stuff, and that's why more of that kind of production needs to be aired, and that's where The Last Saint comes in because that's totally different to a lot of Kiwi movies I've seen. Though the subject matter at hand does have similarities with your lead actor, Beulah.
Beulah?
Yeah, because he's I think I first saw him on Harry. Yeah.
And he also did a short film about the shooting in Manurewa called Manurewa.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he's an amazing actor, man. He's a really good kid.
Oh, that's nice. So how did you draft them into it? Into The Last Saint.
Oh, how did I first meet him and all that?
How did you? Like, no doubt, you don't do the casting, but.
Oh yeah, no, I did the casting.
Did you?
Yeah, we had no money. So I did the casting, man. Yeah, no, I've known Beulah for years, and I told him 3 years ago that I was going to use him for a film, and he was going to be the guy. And so he's just been loyal, and we've been working together and growing and learning and training together for the last 3 years. Yeah.
Okay. Beulah. Yeah, Beulah. Yeah, he's definitely got some magic in him, eh? He's actually doing a tour right now.
Yeah.
So before we get into that, Beulah, was he like your first pick to be like the Last Saint?
First, I really wanted Stan Walker.
Bullshit.
This is for Beulah. I wanted Stan Walker because Stan Walker's got a really cool voice. Because you hear Beulah's voice, it's like Beulah was always the man. Beulah's he was always gonna be him. But you know what? Honestly, I thought that if I couldn't get Beulah, that maybe I would have tried. I actually would have maybe tried Stan or Jay Williams. For real. Because I think Stan Walker, the reason why he's a great singer, there's a lot of hurt in his voice, and like all the good artists, there's a lot of pain, and I actually think he's going to be the lead in a new hip hop movie multi-million hip hop movie that's coming out of New Zealand.
Yeah, I heard.
Paris, yeah, and I mean, it's good casting by them because Stan's got a good work ethic and all that. but as far as the last scene, you know, we didn't. Beulah was always going to be him.
Yeah.
And the thing, what I love about Beulah is that he's just really very strong, man, very powerful actor.
Yeah, I saw that. Especially one of the scenes when he was in the nightclub there and he like stripped down. I was like, damn, you know, and that's what they want to see, because once you do stuff like that, you know, you're taking it to the next level, you know, exposing yourself, you know.
Yeah, he's fearless, man. He's fearless.
Yeah, and at the same time, he's actually got a good body on him, and that's because he works with youth fellas there at Ludus Magnus.
He's a trainer at Ludus.
Yeah, because I seen that, you know, I was checking out the website, and he's got a massive roster over there.
Yeah. Oh no, there's only about 6 or 7 of us trainers.
Yep.
But it just happens like most of them are on the film. Xavier, Joe, Jared, myself, Wairangi, Ids, Iramiya, Kani, Steve Taps.
Yep.
You know, they were all fighters or trainers or leagueies. Ruben, you know, the only Lanista that's not on it is Ruben and David Courts.
Oh, okay.
And Ruben is, his wife wouldn't let him.
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking. Because, you know, once I saw the film, I was going, man, what's his parents gonna think? You know, shucks. You know, I was thinking about the Elders. You know, I was thinking about what would they be looking at it from a certain perspective. You know.
Well, I hope, man. You know what? I hope Elders do get to watch the film, because they need to be brought up to play, man.
Yeah, hard.
And you know, I hope, you know, it's an entertainment, and I hope that everyone really enjoys it, from the, you know, from the ordinary guy that's working 9 to 5 to the gangsters to everybody really enjoys the film.
Yeah, hard.
Because I don't think there's been one where they can really claim it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not. See, the thing is, I'm not judging. I'm just saying that that's the world, and it's messed up.
Yeah.
And my message is for the youth, and say, man, you know, we're really shitting on our youth.
Yep.
You know, and we're not really. Adults aren't really being responsible or giving them a way out.
Yeah.
You know, and it's true. I mean, look at the way our youth suicide rates and what we're doing,
hard.
and the way the kids are getting in trouble in prison and stuff. And so with this film, all it is just a film, man. But it's an entertainment, and if it provokes discussion, and if it makes mums and dads think about, hey, where's your boy going out at night? Who are those guys that he's rolling with?
Yeah, hard.
You know,
because of a lot of our parents are a bit like, you know, they're not really up to the play with, because they just think that everyone's just on cannabis or they're having a beer or two, but little do they know there's like, you know, 4 or 6 other substances out there that can be affecting our youth.
Absolutely, man.
You know?
And it's, you know, I mean, I'm hearing, when I was doing research for the film, I was hearing about guys turning up for first 15 games, like on it, looking for it, like league games on it, school balls, like they actually had dealers that were there. They had dealers setting up the after school, the after balls.
That's crazy,
you know. And it's like, oh no, they're protected, they're safe. It's like, nah, man, you got to work harder, man. You got to work harder, you know.
That's crazy because, you know, why would you want to like be on that when you're like going to a ball or something? I can understand being on it and wanting to play sport, because, you know, I've seen a few dark souls in my lifetime there, you know, being around and they like to like hit it, and then all of a sudden they want to play tag or some shit, you know, like what they think they're bloody Benji Marshall or something or some shit, you know, and they got the Jonah Lomi fans or it's tag, bro, you know, shucks, no rugby, you know, come on, slow your roll, you know. But I know what you mean, you know, because you know, within the hood, I mean, even if you don't want to see it, somehow you're exposed to it, you know.
Bro, there's a film called City of God. Have you seen that?
Yeah, hard. Brazil, eh?
Yeah, I mean, that film is like, and also, you know, I like man, these films that come out of England. There's one called Shifty. There's a film called Shifty. Out of the UK. There's films like Animal Kingdom out of Australia, where you kind of watch that and you think, man, if there's that society, like, it's like that, wow, that's freaky, man. But right here, we've got that, but nobody has done it. You know?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I know Harry did it, but the way that Harry did it, because it was TV, they had to play it like real safe, and some of the stuff was like, oh man. But with us, because nobody gave us love, it was like, okay, we're just gonna shoot what we do.
Yeah.
And see if it's, there's gonna be some really cool guys coming to the show, coming to the premiere tomorrow.
Yeah.
Which I'd love to have you guys back there again to come and watch. And it's a real cross section. Bro, the Warriors are going to be there, the Blues are going to be there, the New Zealand women's under 20 soccer team's going to be there. The All Blacks, the All Blacks are going to be there. There's some actors going to be there. There's going to be some gangsters there. There's going to be close friends there.
Real gangsters?
Real gangsters.
Nice.
Gangsters. Like real good friends. But we just had to go separate ways,
Yeah, hard.
But I had to invite them because I wanted them to come and have a look.
Yeah. You put it out there, so it's for everyone, no matter where they come from.
It's for everyone.
Yeah. So the last saint is about Minka, who is played by Beulah.
Yeah.
He's got a addictive mother that is addicted to meth. Somehow she was on the drink earlier on, as explained through her ex-partner, which is Beulah's estranged father. And there goes a bit of that's quite common, in our society. You have the father, he's there but he's not there. And then you have the mother that goes through her own pain, but her pain is definitely modernized. Her pain.
Yeah.
And therefore he has to get out there, because no one's working, right?
No.
So therefore he's got to go out there. He's got to get an earn, but somehow the legitimate earn's not helping out. Of course his mother is suffering from addiction, but since it's self-inflicted, the government cannot help. So therefore, he has to get out there, hook up with his old man, who he doesn't really know the time. Did he know that time who his old man was?
He kind of had an idea, but he's got nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
He's got to do it. Like when I was doing research for the film, the cops were saying that they call it noble crime, and they were telling me some stories, man, about sometimes going to a person's place that they think something dodgy's going on. They'll go in the place, and they'll be in the middle of the sitting room, in the middle of the lounge. The place is shit all over the place, rubbish, empty bottles, everything like that. And in the middle is a brand new, shiny, sparkling, brand new Harley.
Yeah.
Right in the middle.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh man, this is disgusting, look at this. And all they do is look after the bike. They're just about to walk out, and then they'll see something rustling in the corner, and they'll think, oh, the person's got a puppy. Grab the puppy. They'll go to pick up, it'll be a baby. It'll just be a baby, just like a naked baby. No nappies, nothing, just lying in its own shit. Bro, I was gonna put that in the film. The only reason I couldn't put that in the film was because I couldn't afford to shoot the damn thing.
How much of your movie got cut back?
We cut back a lot because of money. You know, obviously.
But how much did the man cut out?
How do you mean? How much did the
man cut out? The government cut out of it. Because, I know Matthias quite well. Actually, you're my second actor I've had on there. I interviewed Matthias Lufuru at the peak of Harry.
He's going to be there tomorrow.
Yeah, because we're actually cousins.
So
I interviewed him during the peak of Harry, and he told me when he was doing shopping that they cut a lot out of shopping.
Yeah.
His film shopping, and so how much? But it wasn't them. It was that the government, or the film dudes, they had to cut back on certain scenes. They were a bit too graphic for their liking, and for them to decide for the viewers what was graphic and what was decided to get cut out.
Well, the thing is I worked with a really good editor, so it was me and the like I said, we were accountable to no one. The only thing that we were accountable to were the people saying, is it a good film or not? So I just wanted to make the best film that I could. I don't care about what, there's some things in there that's gonna put some people are gonna say, hey, but as long as it sparks, a discussion. And then, man, if people can look me in the eye and I say, yeah, but is it true? Is it true what the character says? How they made a joke about it? Is it true?
Yeah.
Yeah,
because you're the writer, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of it's, where do you get the stories from?
Like I said, it's you know, you do your research, you find out, you talk to a lot of people. I've known some really good, really close friends, and I managed to live a really, you know, an exciting life. You know, so you just kind of, you know, accumulate these life experiences. But you know, there'll be a lot of people in that film that people go, oh, that's that person, and oh, that's that person, and that's that person. But in reality, they're a combination of a lot of different people that I've met along. You know, and that's the way it should be. You know, I wouldn't want anybody to sit there and watch the movie and go, that's me. You know what I mean? It's because it isn't. But everyone should be able to watch that film and go, man, I've been in that situation. I understand that. Wow, you know. And that was I think that's one of the big things about why New Zealand has had trouble doing a crime film, because people have never sort of been really willing to put themselves out there or to do the work and really see what the world is like. I mean, it's funny. I watched Once Warriors. Once Warriors back is because it's 20 years, you know, to the week.
20 years, from last week.
And I watched it and I was thinking, man, that's like a really powerful film. But man, in a way, it sort of can be argued that film really glamorizes violence against women.
It does. It does.
Because he's like top dog. Like Jake's top dog.
And I think it got away with so much restrictions. Like just on the
Dude,
on the violence.
It was R13. We're R16 at the moment. We're fighting with the censorship board at the moment. But it's like, but you've seen the film. And you've seen, like, man, we got some really charismatic people in the screen. But every single one of them is broken, and there is just no way we are glamorizing drugs, we are glamorizing violence or anything like that. We're just showing it what it is, but it's filmed really beautifully.
The thing I like about your movie, it's totally different to Once Warriors. No doubt, you know, has their little has the violence, but has, you know, it's different. It's totally different. I wouldn't compare your movie to that, because your movie is quite modernized, and like I said, you know, it's
social issues now. It's modern issues.
And I see it all the time. I always see that younger fella, you know, he never has both parents. You know, even myself, you know, the old man took off early ages, but saying that, 20 of my other mates had the same story. That's why I never talk about it, because you know, everyone's got a sad song, but you know, well, why do you have to, like, you know, PowerPoint it out to everyone, you know, because you don't want to say something and then someone else is, like, you know, kind of in the same boat, but he's not saying anything because maybe he's not as popular as you, and no one will hear his story, but they'll hear yours just because of who you may be or who they think you are. You know, so
no, that's a really valid point. But then the thing is that people aren't having the conversations at all, and that's why we lead the way. You can't tell me, like, we got the world's our All Blacks. I mean, their record in professional sport is ridiculous. We shouldn't be like this. Like, the nation drops nuts after we come close to losing a game. Losing one game. You know, it's like the whole nation's like, All Blacks. If they expect us to breed these warriors, yet at the same time, if there's something that's really, like, something hurts our feelings, or something that, hey man, I'm not feeling good because, man, I just don't feel like it. It's like, fuck, put them in the corner. You know what I mean? It's like, in a society where you hurt your wrist and someone says, you got to go to physio, you can't do work. You don't think twice. You're like, straight away, let's go physio. You wear the cast, you're like, yeah man, far out, I gotta. But if something is going on in your heart, and you can't, I mean, it's like, come on man, like, that's, for me, I wanted to, I'm nervous every time someone watches that film, because that's just my heart, you know, and every character in the film is an extension of someone that I know, or someone that I've loved, and someone that I've gone into, you know, that I've been in situations with, and that, but here I am sitting here today. So my thing is that it was my job as this filmmaker to tell this story, and if, like I said, man, I always say, as long as it's just people just talking about it. You know?
Like, there's so much scenes I can talk about in that movie. Like, you know, Minka's dad, you know, to me, he could have been a lot worse. but he was cool. He kept his cool. He kept his head. You know, he didn't lose the plot as. He didn't have a short wick on him, as I kind of felt, you know. But you know, if it came to the crunch and they kept pushing him, I knew that the nasty side will come out.
You know, he had to turn around.
Hard. I knew it. I mean, obviously, it's like, you turning around, dog. You gotta sort that dude out. And that was actually Dirty Sesh's dad. That was dissing Minka's father.
Oh, really?
My King is Dirty Sesh's dad.
He's the man.
Sorry, Dirty Sesh, but your old man, he got the bash, bro. Yeah, but it was good. He played a good character, and what bar was that? What social club was that? Was that an RSA or?
Yeah, bro, that was Greyland Bowling Club.
Yeah, I thought so. When I saw that, I go, man, I know that area, man.
Yeah, they're really cool, man.
Yeah, the good thing I like about Kiwi films is where you have filmed it. You know, you've set Auckland CBD as your canvas. I mean, was there a reason for that? Well, you know how you see some other movies like Once Warriors, you see a lot of Otara, Mangere, Manurua, but with The Last Saint, I saw a lot of the city in it.
No, it had to be in the city.
Parts of Ponsonby.
I wanted to make it in the city because I didn't want to make a story that featured a lot of brown characters and then say, it's just got to be South Auckland. You know. So for me, that's what it was about. It was about I wanted to make the story, and man, I love Auckland.
Yeah.
I love Auckland, man. Like I owe it to Auckland, and So I think Auckland's it's a strong character in the film.
Okay. Auckland is the backdrop to The Last Saint. The premiere is tomorrow. There's still tickets available. You can actually get them online. There's actually a link on our Repfm page and our website.
And there's door sales tomorrow. Yeah, walk up.
True that, door sales. And sorry, I heard the after party is sold out.
Yeah. Well, not for you guys. Not for you guys.
Oh, shucks.
Not for you guys. It is. It's sold out. There's 600 people and there's a waiting list of 200 people, man.
Shucks, that's crazy.
And it's going to be, old school Cine, Richmond Bulldogs. He's going to be playing some old schools for.
Is he a DJ?
Yeah, he's one of the DJs.
Oh, shout out to Cine.
Yeah, man. Yeah. He's one of my guardian angels from past life. And then there's Cine and then Thomas and then P Money's going to wrap it all up.
Man. So where's that at?
That's downstairs. Papers to this, man. All right.
Oh,
you're on, bro.
Yeah.
On, man.
So no doubt we've had an awesome discussion with Rene Naufahu, the man himself here from The Last Saint. We've been talking for nearly an hour, and no doubt the man is busy as he's got places to go. But because we have recorded the session and we'll put it up on our website page, our YouTube page, and our Facebook page, and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, we're everywhere. And Sole, if you have any inspiring words for anyone who wants to approach acting or directing or production any type, what would your words be for them?
I wrote it straight up. Just don't hate, create. That's it, brother.
Oh man, that's the first. I've used that question on a lot of guys, but man, I never got an answer like that.
Straight up.
Oh, the man. So thanks to Rene for coming in.
Thanks, son.
And no doubt catch the also at the premiere tomorrow. No doubt you'll probably see it on social media and all the papers and that. So make sure you go out there and support everything Kiwi, Aotearoa, because this is not America. So any shout outs or anything you want to give out?
Thank you, so thank you, man.
Sweet. Cheers for also coming in. Repfm off the wall Aotearoa, off the wall America today. Shout out to Prestige on the mix. stuff.